Coming with some Glass House tonight. Oh yes. If you live in a glass house, and if you can't stay close, it's like a throne. All right, Mr. DJ. Yes, my people. Yes, my people. We are here tonight. We are here tonight with our grand finale rally. And you all look beautiful. Thank you for coming out. And before I start, Carleen Davis is in the house. And we're looking forward right after I finish delivering my speech. We will have the legendary, the great Carleen Davis. So stick around and get ready. My cousin Alan, when he was up here, he stated that I told him that I just got it. I just got a download of what tonight should look like. If I'm honest with you, at first, we wanted some secular performers. Now, I just listen to secular music. Y'all see me dancing on the video. Y'all see me winding up. You saw that, Carolyn? Let me acknowledge the First Lady of the Virgin Islands, Carolyn Shallow Wheatley. I can't say it was the wind-up or catcher. But I listen to secular music. But every band we tried to get, it just wasn't working out. It has U.S. Virgin Islands, St. Thomas Carnival. Some bands were playing over there. And no matter how we tried, everybody who were going for, we just couldn't get them. And then I got the download. And I said, we have to go full gospel. Full gospel. And when I made that decision, everything just fell into place. I believe this rally that we planned, I think we only really confirmed the artist maybe 2 or 3 days ago. And everything fell into place so perfectly. I want to acknowledge Nate, who's the promoter, Nate the Great. Give Nate the Great a round of applause. And Carleen Davis is actually his mother. And her husband is here as well. And we are so grateful for their presence here tonight. Everything fell into place. So what we have tonight is more than just a VIP rally. What we have is a redemption rally. I said what we have is a redemption rally. And I see it so clearly. And when you speak the truth, you can hear the truth resonate. You can feel the truth when you hear it. And by God's grace and mercies, when I speak tonight, I want what I say to resonate with you. Because what I am speaking is something that I've gotten the download. And I even intended to write my speech. I didn't get a chance to write it. So I'm just going to speak straight from the heart and allow God to lead me. And I pray that he guides me and blesses every word that I speak tonight. Now, we have been going through this campaign for a few weeks. And I want to thank all of you for coming out and for supporting us on this campaign. We have gone from District 1 to District 9. We have gone community to community. We have made speeches. We have bought ads on the radio. We have created some very creative jingles. And we have been making a case to you, the people of the Virgin Islands. We have been speaking to you about our record and our plans. We have been speaking to you about the fact that we have guided the Virgin Islands through very turbulent waters. That's what we've been telling you. We've been speaking to you about the fact that we were helping with the recovery from the hurricanes. Is that right? We told you about rebuilding the Elmore Stout High School, refurbishing the now L. Dorothy Turnbull building. We told you about that, right? We told you about rebuilding the Brigado Flax Educational Center. I see my brother Greg right in the front. We told you about building the Jas Van Dyke Primary School, which is looking lovely. We told you about repairing our recreational facilities, like the Jeffrey Caines Arena, like the Anegada Recreational Grounds, like the A.O. Shirley Recreational Grounds, the multi-purpose sports complex, and all other facilities that we've repaired across the Virgin Islands. We told you about repairing the Vanterpool Administration Building and the Flax Administration Building and the John Shinnery Administration Building. All the fire stations, the post office, the mailboxes, everything. We've been telling you about how we have helped the Virgin Islands to recover from the most devastating natural disasters in our history. We told you about that. We told you about how we helped to guide and protect the Virgin Islands through the pandemic by God's grace and mercies. We told you about how we helped to keep COVID-19 out. And we told you about how we sought to help to protect the people of the Virgin Islands. Vaccines for persons who wanted them. We didn't force them on anyone. We ensured that not one family went hungry during the pandemic. We told you about all of those social homes that we built. We told you about all the assistance we provided. We told you about the Market Square. That Market Square looks beautiful, doesn't it? So beautiful, the National Democratic Party wanted to use it tonight. And I remember the de facto leader of the NDP right now. He said, when it was all boarded up, only thing going through that Market Square is sheep and goat. But our Market Square is there right now for them to be able to use for their rally. We told you about the traffic turnaround in Road Town. And I was in town yesterday at 8:30 a.m. and there was no traffic. Did y'all hear me? You remember how the traffic used to be? 8:30 in the morning, there's no traffic. 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you have a steady stream of traffic, but the traffic moves. We told you about the direct flights. We told you about the management of the economy, and I'm going to get to that in a little while. We have been telling you about our record, and we have been telling you about our plans. We're telling you about our National Sustainable Development Plan that we passed and we will implement. We've been telling you about the blue and the green economy. We've been telling you about the solar project in Anegada, where we'll provide 90% of the electricity from solar power. We've been telling you about mapping our environmental assets. We've been telling you about how we will change our exclusive fishery zone into an exclusive economic zone. We have been telling you all of these things, my people. That is what our campaign has been based on. Our opponents, on the other hand, have based their entire campaign on kicking the VIP out of office. Some of them even put up on a screen in Fish Bay, kick them out, and they have a ball there being kicked out. They're spending all their time telling you why you should get rid of the VIP, as opposed to telling you why you should vote for them. And that should tell you something. That should tell you something. They've based their whole campaign on VIP mistakes. And put up a billboard full of nonsense. Now, what I need to say to you is that the Virgin Islands, I want you to listen carefully, will not move forward. And we're talking about moving forward together. The Virgin Islands will not move forward unless we can acknowledge our sins. The Virgin Islands will not move forward unless we can acknowledge where we have gone wrong. The Virgin Islands will not move forward unless we can acknowledge that whether you're VIP, whether you're NDP, 1 or 2, whether you're the one-man Progressives United, or what's the name of Ishmael Bratwitt Party? Whatever the name of that one is. Regardless of what party you support, we have to be able to take a good look at ourselves. And we have to tell ourselves where we have to improve and where we have to do better. Now, the National Democratic Party and the Progressive Virgin Islands movement wants you to focus solely on Virgin Islands party mistakes, and they ignore their own. And they want to promote their accomplishments and erase the accomplishments of the Virgin Islands party. And I'm saying to you, that is hypocrisy. And that will never take us where we need to go. I'm going to get biblical with you now. The good book says, if we confess our sins, he is faithful and just to cleanse us of all unrighteousness. Let's give VG a round of applause who are here in numbers. They have to go back to Virgin Gorda. Thank you, Virgin Gorda. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. If we confess our sins, he is faithful and just to cleanse us of all unrighteousness. It also says, if my people who are called by my name, now listen to this part, shall humble themselves. If you are not prepared to admit where you have gone wrong, you are not humble. You have to humble yourselves. If my people who are called by my name shall humble themselves and what? Pray. Humble themselves and pray. And seek my face. And do what? Turn from their wicked ways. Then will I hear from heaven, and I will forgive their sin, and I will heal their land. So people of the Virgin Islands, if you want to heal this land, and trust me, this land must be healed. If you want to heal the land, you need leaders who are humble enough to be able to admit where they are wrong. And not just admit where they're wrong. Not just admit mistakes, but put measures in place to correct mistakes. To learn from mistakes and seek not to repeat mistakes. And this is where the glass houses come in. And that too is biblical. Because remember when they had the lady by the well, and they were ready to stone that lady, what did Jesus say? He who is without sin, cast the first stone. I'll say it again. He who is without sin, cast the first stone. NDP 1 and 2 are throwing stones. But the proverb says, and Peter Tosh made it into a song, if you live in a glass house, don't throw stones. The good book also says to you, don't try to tell somebody about the dust in your eye when you have a big old log in your eye. The good book speaks about being a hypocrite. So when I look at that billboard, that somebody was bold enough to erect all over the town, and I look at the content of the billboard, all I can really say to myself is, if you live in a glass house, don't throw stones. I won't go all the way to 10, but let me just tell you about a few glass houses that I noticed. Glass house number 1. We have the National Democratic Party up on the billboard spoke to you about the fast track. I want you all to listen to me carefully. They are coming to all the people who got their belanger status and they're asking for a vote. And they're saying that this fast track was a mistake. But yet, when they were in office, the first thing they did, one of the first things they did when the National Democratic Party came to office, in 2003 is they put a 25-year quota for residents. Only 25 persons for a year. Y'all remember that? When you do that, that creates a backlog. Because more people will be eligible than you're granting every year. You create a backlog. They also introduced an illegal policy for 25 years, which was not congruent with the law. They did that. Before they came out of office in 2019, they too fast-tracked some people. I want y'all to understand this. They're talking about fast-track as a mistake, right? Before they came out of office, they fast-tracked about 80 persons. But the difference was they only fast-tracked persons who came from the financial services sector. And when you look at the file, most of them did not even apply. So they're talking about fast-track mistakes. But when we fast-track, we help persons to get status who are teachers, who are nurses, persons who work in construction, persons who have been going to school with us for many years, persons who are married to us, persons who have lived with us, who are our neighbors, live in our communities. We didn't just say we only given to our rich friends in the financial services sector. So if I were them, I wouldn't speak about that. Glass house, number 2. Big and broad on the billboard. They have no payment of increments. Now this one really threw me for a loop. Listen to me carefully. When the Virgin Islands Party came to office in 2019, you know the National Democratic Party was in there before. When the Virgin Islands Party came to office, they did not pay increments in 2016, 2017, or 2018. I'm going to repeat it for you just in case you didn't understand. When the Virgin Islands Party came to office in 2019, the National Democratic Party had not paid increments for 2016, 2017, or 2018. Who had to pay those increments? The Virgin Islands Party. And on top of that, this year, we put the money in the budget and we made a decision to pay, I believe it was 2018 and 2019 with arrears. And I believe also 2020. Correct me if I'm wrong, Deputy Premier. Huh? I think 2019 and 2020 with arrears. And we have been behind on our increments. And we made a decision to bring our salary increments up to date. So by the end of this year, our salary increments will be up to 2022. So if I were the National Democratic Party, 1 or 2, I wouldn't talk about the increments. Also, on a billboard, I see they have Claude Skelton Klein as a mistake. Now, if I were the National Democratic Party, I wouldn't talk about that. Because under the National Democratic Party, Claude Skelton Klein ran for them in 2011. Now, I don't have anything against Claude, and I'm not trying to beat up on Claude. I'm just stating the facts. After he ran and lost, I'm not making fun of him because I lost 2 in 2011. Yeah, I wasn't hearing my name at all when they were calling out the votes. That was not my time. And God's time is not our time. So if you're waiting on that blessing and that victory to come, you keep praying and you stay faithful and keep believing. But Claude Skelton Klein lost in 2011, and the National Democratic Party gave him a consultancy to be on the port. Now, he had never walked on a port a day in his life. A year after getting that consultancy, they made him the managing director of the port, having not walked a day in his life on the port. After that, he went to the Pear Pack and had a massive overrun of about $40 million. So if I were the National Democratic Party, 1 or 2, I would not talk about that. And I can go all through that billboard, Joe's Hill Manor. They have Joe's Hill Manor up on that. Who started Joe's Hill Manor? Who went and buy all of that land up on Joe's Hill? So why would you list that as a VIP mistake? And you know you're the one who at least bought the land for that project. So what I'm saying to you people of the Virgin Islands, that type of leadership will not take you forward. The leadership that makes it seem like I'm white as snow, that I can walk on water, I can turn water into wine. I could take 5 loaves and turn it into 20,000. That is not the right leadership for you, the people of the Virgin Islands. You need a leadership that will genuinely look at what's taking place in the Virgin Islands and take steps to fix it. No, the Virgin Islands Party, I'm saying to you, is that team. People, I'm saying to you, the Virgin Islands Party is that team. I can say it for a number of reasons. First of all, we have a team. We have a team. We have a full team of 13 quality candidates. Quality. And trust me, I'll take my team over any other team. We have persons who have been in positions of responsibility, whether running a college. My former boss, Dr. Dawson, when they took away his contract because he was of so much quality, he was able to leave from right here in Tortola, go in Anguilla and become their president. And not only that, you are president of the Association of Tertiary Institutions, ACTI. So Carl has quality. Marita is quality. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I have never seen a leader so great as Marita Flax Headley. And you can see it based on all the leaders she has produced. Excellent leaders. 3rd District, the man OJ, he came here with some serious fire tonight. He did very well. And he ran the post office. He ran trade. He advised me excellently in my time in office. And trust me, he is the right man for the 3rd District. 4th District, just notice our team. persons who have been in positions of responsibility and persons who have done very well wherever they've been. You check the track records of some of these individuals. Okay. 4th District, we had Luce Hodge Smith, who was the Director of Culture. Deputy Managing Director at the Airports Authority. A quality candidate. A woman with a heart of gold. And a woman with a heart for her people, a community woman. You have the boy himself, the Deputy Premier, Honorable Kai Reimer. He used to run the DMV, and the DMV was really happening under his leadership. And of course, you can look at his track record as a minister and as a district representative. He's done an excellent job. 6th District, you have Honorable Maduru Keynes, a businesswoman. A woman who worked for financial services. A woman who has been representing her district with distinction and with love, a real Mother Teresa. You cannot have a House of Assembly without a woman like Honorable Alvra Maduru Keynes, because you need someone in there who's going to always remind you about the people who need assistance, the people who need help, to have a compassionate heart for the people. In the 8th District, we have Alan Wheatley, who was the financial secretary, a businessman. 9th District, Honorable Vincent Wheatley, who was the Sister Islands coordinator and worked in the private sector as well as being a deputy principal at Brigado Flax Educational Center. Our at-large candidates, Honorable Calvin Malone, he's been the president of the Leo Club, Lions Club. He's a businessman. He did an excellent job as Minister of Health and Social Development. And he is a community man. Even in our family, he's a leader. Zoe Walcott, another business person, Deputy Director at the Tortola Pear Park, doing an excellent job, a community woman. You hear on the radio, she's a culture woman. And of course, she has helped to organize pageants and many activities in our community. And we have Honorable Shari Di Castro, someone who lives, eats, breathes education, and has done a marvelous job of helping our education system to move full steam ahead. Honorable Neville Smith, who's an excellent sportsman, a sportsman who will go down in history. And we cannot go anywhere with Honorable Neville Sheep Smith because he's able to relate with everyone. Everyone. And he's a businessman. And he's a man who has done many wonderful things, worked at Harney's for many, many years. Full team, and we were able to attract a full team. Because, of course, we have principles. We have values. The Virgin Islands Party has a foundation. The Virgin Islands Party is the only party which has been able to outlive its founder. Which means the principles are tried, true, and tested. You have a whole new team of Virgin Islands Party right now. The team is tried, true, and tested. And this team will, if you the people give us that opportunity. Not only do we have the team, but we have the plans. For many years, we have been speaking about a national sustainable development plan. And tonight, we will be launching our manifesto. Tonight, our manifesto is complete, and we'll be publishing it on media platforms. And you can download it and read it. But our manifesto is directly linked to our National Sustainable Development Plan. So we know where we're going. We have a direction. For many years, persons have been speaking about a national plan. They spoke about it, we did it. And what else have we introduced? Just last week in Cabinet, we introduced district councils. Because if you want to implement your National Sustainable Development Plan, the people have to be involved. And that district council is a mechanism that we have in place to ensure that the people have a voice and they can participate in the process in a formal way. And also to ensure that we introduce what's called local government. We introduce local government so that the people can have a say in how their communities are governed. And that is the district council. And I'm saying to you as well that we are the right people to complete the implementation of the reforms. And the reason why we are the right people to implement the reforms is because we've already started. We've already started, and we're going to ensure that you, the people, are a part of the process. We're not going to shove reforms down your throat. We're going to ensure that you are part of the process. And one thing I'm going to answer is this whole lie which is being told that if the Virgin Islands Party is elected, they're going to suspend the Constitution. What Claude used to say, for God and heaven's sake, go sit down. If the UK wanted to suspend the Constitution because of the Virgin Islands Party, why would they allow us to keep the Constitution under the leadership of the chairman of the Virgin Islands Party? They had the perfect opportunity to suspend the Constitution. I was the one that had to go to the United Kingdom and negotiate with the Overseas Territory Minister. And when she came here, she spoke directly with myself. And I give credit as well to my brother. Some of them are bad talking, my brother, Mr. Benito Whitley. But behind the scenes, he was able to talk to the Foreign and Commonwealth and Development Office. And through our direct engagement, and through the support of our colleagues, and I'll even give credit to the other members of the unity government. They wouldn't give us credit. They wouldn't give us credit. They'll say they are the only reason that the Constitution was not suspended. Remember what I say about humbling yourselves. They wouldn't give any credit to any VIP member. And they're saying if the VIP is elected, that the Constitution will be suspended. Do not be fooled. I'm saying to you, my people, God does not make mistakes. There are no accidents with God. He saw what happened before it happened. And he had individuals in place who were prepared to take the mantle and take the helm to negotiate. Leaders with the temperament, leaders with the knowledge and the skills to be able to ensure that our Constitution was not suspended and we were able to implement reforms in such a way that would have a balance between the people and what is required for good governance, accountability, adherence to the rule of law, transparency. We are the team. We have the plans. We gave you the National Sustainable Development Plan. We're the team that can implement those reforms. We are the team, I'm saying to you, people of the Virgin Islands. The last thing I'll say is that I want you to vote not only for the district representative, but for all the at-large. Give the at-large a round of applause. The other parties' only pathway to a government is the at-large and through a coalition. They know that none of them can win on their own. So they have promoted this whole concept and idea of a coalition. Dr. Dawson called it the bag of Skittles approach. That's the only way that they have a pathway. And they have whispered in your ear, and some of you have accepted that. But why would you vote for an experiment? The PVIM endorsed Honorable Julian Fraser. Julian Fraser endorsed PVIM. I had a debate with them. Ronnie were going left, Honorable Julian Fraser were going right. Honorable Skelton said, when I'm the premier, this is what I'll do. Julian Fraser said, when I'm the premier, this is what I'll do. Well, which one are you going to be premier, buddy? You didn't work that out before the endorsement? So the first thing that's going to happen, if you elect a coalition government, is it's going to have a big fight. And I'll tell you something that you may not have known. I'll tell you something that you may not have known, and then I'm going to close. The governor's office sent me a memo last week reminding me what the Constitution says about forming a new government. And it says, listen to me carefully, the party with a majority forms the new government, the one who can command a majority in the House of Assembly. The Constitution also says, if the members who are elected if they cannot agree on who's the leader, do you know what happens then? The governor selects the leader. Look in the Constitution. If you cannot select a leader, do you know who selects the leader? The governor selects the leader. Do you want the governor selecting your leader, people of the Virgin Islands? Do you want the governor selecting your leader? So you want to know what you have to do? You have to vote VIP all the way. You have to vote for the soon-to-be Honorable Zoe Wildcat. You have to vote for Honorable Neville Sheep-Smith. You have to vote for Honorable Shari De Castro. And you have to vote for Honorable Kevin Malone. I want to thank you tonight for your attention. I want to thank you all for coming out in numbers. And I want to make sure when you go to the polls on Monday, the 24th of April, that you go there to put the Virgin Islands Party as your next government. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. And we want everybody out there to come out to the motorcade tomorrow. Starts at 1 p.m. at the festival grounds. Come out with all your vehicles. Come out with your vehicles decorated. And let's let the whole Virgin Islands know, Virgin Islands Party all the way. Thank you.